Hey guys, Mauro here. Have you ever witnessed a situation, an embarrassing moment from another person, and you kind of don't know what to do, how to react, what to say? Well, many times it can be kind of a tricky situation, especially when we're talking about women, when it's someone that we know, probably friends, guys. It's easier to kind of go along with it and joke about it, but when we're talking about women, it can be a totally different situation, especially if we don't know the person, if it's a stranger. Um, Not too long ago, I was giving a lesson to a lady that she was running. She was kind of moving backwards, backpedaling to get a shot that was coming high, and she tripped. She totally fell backwards and flipped. Um, I immediately ran to the other side of the court. Of course, I didn't laugh. I didn't do anything. I just stayed serious. I ran to the other side of the court. I knew she was okay. The way she felt, you could tell. I mean, well, I wasn't sure, but she didn't cry. She didn't make any noise like she was hurt. And the way she fell, she kind of just rolled back. So I just ran to the other side, and I asked her if she was okay, and I got on my knees. Hey, are you fine? Nothing hurts. No, I'm good. I didn't say anything. I didn't mention anything. Of course, I didn't laugh. I helped her get up. Then we just kept on going. I never ever mentioned anything about that, and of course, she never did. uh, it can be a tricky situation. It can be embarrassing, especially for a woman. So I wanted to give you four tips, four things that the way you want to react when you witness this kind of situation. And let's keep in mind, this is mostly with people that you don't know, not really with your friends or people that are close to you, but people that are not really very close to you, not really good friends. And I think that you can apply all, and just think in mind, when it comes to women, it's a very different story sometimes to the way we react with men. So the first one is when you witness an embarrassing moment from a person, you want to try, if that person is at a distance, one thing that you can do is, you don't want to really look at the person and stare at them. Let's say someone trips on the street, or they spill something on them. You don't want to really look at that person, and they're looking around and they look at you and they see that you're looking at them, because that can make the moment very uncomfortable. So usually whenever you witness something like that, the best thing you can do is you just look away. You just completely pretend like you didn't see anything, and don't look back to the person. I would say, take at least 1 minute or two to look back. Okay, don't look away unless it's a situation when that person could be hurt. For example, if they trip and it's a bad fall, then that's a different story. But let's assume that it's nothing really serious. So the best thing you can do is just look away, pretend that you didn't see anything. Especially if it's a woman, don't say anything. Just don't pay attention to it. The second one is, if you interacted with a person, you witness the accident, you witness the incident, and let's say that like in my tennis lesson, that I saw this lady trip, and you have to interact with that person. Well, approach the person and always talk to them in a very nice, be nice. um don't You don't want to, of course, you don't want to laugh. You want to talk to them nicely. You want to be with them, be serious, but not like an over serious. Just show that you really mean, hey, are you okay? You need anything? Can I do something for you? You can even, depending on the situation, how you see the person reacting, you can kind of half a smile, just a half a smile. Are you okay? And you don't want to do too much, because the truth is that you don't know how that person is going to react. You don't know how that person is going to feel until you get their feedback, until you see how they react, until after the accident. So in the moment, you just want to assume and say, you know what, stay serious, be nice to the person, be educated, put all your attention to them. And if you see that the person is You're gonna notice if they're really embarrassed, and you say, okay, are you good? You're fine, all right, I can help you in a napkin or whatever it is. And as soon as the moment is gone, move on. Once you guys get over it, you want to move on right away. Again, especially if it's a woman, you don't want to hang in the moment for too long. Just move on and never mention it again. If they mention it ever again or something, you gotta have an idea how they're feeling. How is their emotion when they talk about it? Sometimes they can be really embarrassed and they never want to talk about it, and sometimes it can be funny and they take it in a lightly way. So I mean, you let that person bring it out if they say something about it, but you try not to mention it. Of course, you don't laugh or you don't mock the moment. The third one is that exactly, don't bring that to a conversation ever, unless that person starts a conversation and talks about it. If let's say it was a lady, or if it was a gentleman, if they ever bring it to the conversation, well, you talk about it, you take it in a lightly way, you pretty much reflect how they take it. If they're really embarrassed, you say, you know what, don't worry about it, it's okay. Just like that. Make it really short and move on. So that person is gonna notice that you're not making any judgments, you're not making a big thing out of it. If they're really embarrassed, you should just do the same thing. Don't worry about it. I mean, we're going through the same. You can even come up with one story where you embarrass yourself, make them feel better, and then you move on. But the best thing you can do is you let them. If they want to talk about it a little bit, if they want to mention, let them do it. But you don't want to put too much of it out there, and especially you don't want to keep going on and on and on and on and repeating it and bringing it out. Bringing the conversation every now and then. Don't do it. Okay, and the fourth tip, this is very important. If there is anybody else present, the best thing you can do is you want to stop everybody. If there is anybody else laughing or mocking, stop them immediately, because the first thing you gotta do is you gotta make sure that the person is fine, even if it's nothing that it really puts their health or in danger, but they might just spill something, and what you want to do is just attend to the person. Stop anybody that is making fun of it. Stop them right then and there, because that's horrible. You don't want to be that person. Of course, you do not want to be the person that makes fun of it. If you were your friends, it's a different story. Of course, like I say before, if you're with people that you don't know very well, or if it's a woman, you immediately want to stop anybody else from making any fun out of it. You gotta be educated. You gotta ask the person if they're okay, if they need anything, and again, just move on. The best thing you can do, just imagine that something like that happens to you, and you don't know how people are gonna do. You kind of feel like you're making a stupid, out of yourself. But when you see that people, okay, or someone that helps you, hey, you're okay, you need this, you need a napkin or something, give it to you, okay, all right, you're good, okay, all right. So how okay, see you later, or all right, let's keep doing whatever you were doing. It's good to see that person doesn't stick to it, doesn't dwell in the moment. They just move on. So that's one thing that you want to do whenever you see that person, in problem, and it's an embarrassing moment. You don't join the fun or the other people mocking if there is anybody doing it. You want to stop them right there and there. Okay, that's one of the best signs that you can do that. One of the best things you can. It's the right thing to do. And it's just educated. It all comes down to class. It all comes down to education. It all comes down to the person that you have as a person, and what you're gonna. It's not really important that you wanted to show who you are, what you are. It's just the right thing to do, and say, okay, stop it. This is not right. Okay, all right, guys. Well, I just wanted to let you know, give you those tips. This is something that we have all been through ourselves. Putting ourselves in embarrassing moments sometimes, or witnessing those situations. Okay, give me a like, subscribe to my channel. Questions, suggestions, let me know. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.